Ironman South Africa did not go to plan. Probably one of my worst races. A long haul travel, you put a lot of time, effort, energy, finance into the trip. It's tough, it's a tough one to take. Okay, we're getting somewhere with just getting prepared and ready for South Africa, which is great. The last little bits and pieces that I ordered from Sigma Sport have arrived. I've gone for some Shimano cleats, but this time I've gone for less float, so I think it's a 2-degree float instead of a 6. And that is because I just want a little bit more, I guess, stability / power transfer rather than the little bit of float that the yellow ones, that are the 6-degree float, gives you. I just wanted a little bit more kind of firmness and therefore power transfer. All about getting more power through the pedals. Speaking of which, I've really splashed out this year. It's all about kind of investing what I earned last year through prize money into a little bit more of that kind of like speed, kind of power transferring into speed. And I've gone for some Dura Ace pedals. Not courtesy, I bought them full price, but courtesy of Barb's in terms of suggesting using them because one, they're carbon, they're top of the range from Shimano, and I think they've got a little bit more of a base plate for again that power transfer through the pedals. So yeah, exciting stuff. I did also buy some blips, some wireless blips from SRAM, so that it's a little bit easier to take off the front end if I want to travel with it. So yeah, those are the few little quick updates that I'm making to the bike. Loads more where that came from, but for now I'm just about to do my last prep session before South Africa, and I'm gonna, I think, update a few of those things so that I can just test them out and make sure that they're all running smoothly. So yeah, stay tuned. I'm just getting ready to travel basically. Just pottering around this morning. I've done a swim and a run. So about an hour's swim and an hour's run. And I've just gotten home and I'm gonna make a coffee, potter around because I am traveling at 10 p.m. So it's got quite a while until I actually have to be at the airport. So I thought I'd just try and relax. I've packed, get ready, make a coffee, have something to eat, and then yeah, start making my way about 3 or 4 on the train. Getting nervous. It's come quick. It's not even April and I'll be racing. So what's the date? It's Monday the 24th of March. Yeah. Tough race as well. It's a very competitive field, so got that to look forward to. Just I like racing tough fields. I think I do well in them. But at the same time, it's always nerve-wracking because you never know what's going to happen, how people are going, how you're going, come to the race. I'm fit, healthy at the moment. So as long as travel goes well, feel pretty shit for the first couple of days after travel. But after that, should be good to go. Just got a bit of planning and prep to do, a few more bookings in terms of booking the train and whatnot, but after that, ready to go. Pretty tired now. Getting there though. It's on my way to the gate. So, just arrived at the hotel without my bike. It's probably still in Johannesburg, just didn't arrive, so gonna get a call later, hopefully from one of the guys at the airport saying that it's arrived about 7 o'clock. It's about 3 or 4 hours away. And then yeah, go and get it, I guess. But for the moment, just gonna, I guess, get myself settled. It's nice, I'm being put up by Ironman in the hotel, which is a rarity. Right next to the beach, which is class. Hopefully it won't be too far to go for race day. But yeah, no, bit of a bummer about the bike, but at least it's in South Africa. And yeah, I might go for a run or something, or swim if I can, or try and link up with some of the other athletes. But yeah, hopefully the bike arrives later, that's all I can say. Okay, so the bike has officially arrived, which is great news, and I'm just gonna put it together. It's the next morning now. Had a pretty leisurely wake up, and yeah, just gonna build my bike. Then I think I'm gonna go for a swim or a run, and then a run or a swim, and then cycle the course or a bit of the course later this afternoon. But yeah, hopefully it'll be put together okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, grateful that that's back. Kind of forced me into a rest day yesterday. Just did nothing and relaxed and tried to get myself sorted for the day, or for the rest of the week, should I say. Quick tip, one thing I tend to do is actually put the foam from the bike box underneath the bike whilst I'm building it, so it doesn't muck up all of the floor underneath. So yeah, just kind of do that, just to make sure that I don't completely wreck the hotel room or the apartment that I'm in. One thing I do find, or two things that I do find when I'm rebuilding my bike for a race, is that one, I always have to do the brakes, because I always ride different wheels in the lead up to a race. I don't ride my race wheels, so I don't ride the disc wheel, for example. So I do have to like just readjust the brakes, which isn't the end of the world at all. And then the other thing is that I use a race chain sometimes. So I bring two chains with me. This is the old race chain, and this is the new race chain. But I don't really want to use the new race chain because I have to cut it this time because it's a new season. I should have done it before I came out here, but I haven't. So today I'm going to ride the old race chain, just re-lube it with Silka's Super Secret Wax stuff. It's not dirty, it should be fine. But yeah, I don't want to use the new one just yet because it's a bit of a faff and I have to cut it, etc. But we'll see. Might do it for race day or a couple of days before to give it a little run through just in case anything needs adjusting. But the other thing with the chain that I've been using is that the quick link eventually wears out. So I need to actually use a new quick link for this season, especially this race, because I don't want it to kind of break if I put down too much power, which again I shouldn't do because it's an Ironman. You don't want to be sprinting out of corners or anything like that, but you never know. Want to be safe rather than sorry. New pedals though, Dura-Ace, as I mentioned in one of the previous clips. So that's exciting, nice and lightweight, and a bigger pad to put power down through. Other things that I will have to swap out as I go, just because again, it's the training setup. Got a bottle cage here so that it's easier to carry water on training rides, but I will swap it out for the triangular bottle just for a little bit of more aero, and it carries 750 and it's a bit easier to store on the bike. I've obviously got the other two storage bottles on the bike, so the rear and the absolute speed at the front, so should have plenty of storage. Right, so pretty much done. Really doesn't take long to put the bike up after travel, especially in the Bike Box Island, because you don't have to take the front end off. This may change when I get a new front end, so I'm looking to do that, so I'll update you that with that in the next couple of videos. But yeah, I actually haven't put that rear derailleur on correctly. Idiot. So I would have to fix that now, but in theory it doesn't take very long to do. It always confuses me, that rear derailleur. But yeah, pedals, rear derailleur, chain and wheels, and that's pretty much it. Obviously adjust the brakes as well, but yeah, getting there now. Luckily a pretty quick fix. Also, always carry spare batteries. My Blip box battery was low, so I've just changed that over now. But yeah, I tend to carry at least 3 2032s because my power meter, my Blip box, and my heart rate monitor my chest strap, all work off of 2032. So it's all worthwhile, always worthwhile carrying spares and checking the batteries just to make sure that they're all not going to run out on race day. Windy, stunning coastline though. I think this is my plan for most of my meals, especially lunchtime meals. Also note how all of my washing is being done on the windowsill, / drying. It's being done on the windowsill. But yeah, everything's going alright so far. It's Thursday. Just an easy aerobic day today. Nothing too strenuous. Just kind of rolling through the motions and yeah, just keeping my head sane, basically. In the hotel room again. I spent most of yesterday out of the hotel room with Andy and a couple of others, so that was nice. And just to get out and see the course a little bit, it's quite bumpy. I'll maybe get a bit of footage of that today. But yeah, all in all, it's going well. Body's starting to come around. I always feel bad until about Friday, and then yeah, everything starts to get moving a little bit better. But we'll wait and see. The sea doesn't look too bad today. The wind isn't as high. Yesterday wasn't too bad either, but the wind direction was fine. So yeah, let's hope for the best on race day. Hopefully we get a swim. I just tried walking up the stairs. It's way further than I thought, and my legs hurt so much more than I thought as well. Never fair that one, but rookie. 5 flights, or not flights, but I'm on the 5th floor.
Once you've completed your check-in and you've done your orientation of the transition zone.
All signed in, checked in, registered, and done the pro briefing now. So all I have to do is set up my bike and bits and pieces for Sunday. 2 days out, it's Friday now. We've been given the race ranger to fit ourselves. So that's going to be fun. And obviously all of our race kit and stickers and whatnot to put on as well. These are great bags as well, by the way. Just a little insight to that. It's, what do they call it? One of those sandwich bag things. But yeah, cool. Got a t-shirt or jacket and some other bits and pieces like race bags and whatnot. So yeah, we'll probably give that a go now and see how I get on. But getting there, ready to go now. Just feel like I'm waiting around a lot, watching TV, putting out a YouTube video, just keeping myself occupied really. Don't know how legit this is, but I've stuck my trainers into the wetsuit to try and loosen up some of the shoulders because it's the first time I've worn it in a race, so So this is where I'm staying, just in that tall building with a bike shop directly underneath, which is ideal. It's actually been really good, great coffee and cake, so can't really complain. Spent a fair few lunch times in there. Yeah, convenient. Right, Ironman South Africa tomorrow is when I start. Hit the start line for the first time this season and get the season underway. But yeah, I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an overview of kind of the past few days, the past couple of weeks, how I'm feeling going into the race, and potentially what I hope and like kind of what I want to get out of this race. So the past couple of weeks have been good. I've basically just rolled through, recovered from camp. Mainly, that's been the kind of priority, but it's been a funny one because I've had to recover from camp, which was tough, and then done a taper week, and I haven't detrained, that's not how it works, but my body feels all kind of like all over the place because it doesn't know whether it's meant to be training or racing or recovering or what's going on, and that's partly to do with the fact that it's the start of the season and it's the first race and there's nerves as well that are involved. So I'm not reading too much into it per se, but it just feels weird. So yeah, I'm just kind of having to deal with that at the moment. In terms of what I expect from the race, it's going to be bloody tough. It's going to be really, really hard, and I'm going to give it my best as always. How I hope it pans out, it's a solid swim, but I'm at the front, able to stay with the lead group. I'm expecting there to be a good bunch of us because the quality of field is really, really strong, and there's some really good swimmers in there, especially some short course swimmers. So I expect that to be quite tough. There's Schomburg, Martin van Riel, Jamie Riddle, amongst others from the long course scene as well. So yeah, I hope I'm there. It's the first time that I'm wearing my new suit brands, so Vortec Cura of the tri-suit and also the Zone 3 wetsuit. So, you know, I have obviously tested it all, but using new kit is always a bit nerve-wracking, especially in a race because it'll be the first time. It's just a bunch of firsts. So yeah, until that's kind of like proven, there's always kind of nerves about it, I guess. Yeah, stay within that front group, hopefully on the swim, and likewise on the bike, just stay near the front for as long as possible, stay aero, make sure that I fuel, hydrate. It's going to be hot, so I think that's going to be a really key one for me, is making sure that I hydrate, but it's going to be really tough to do that because there's not very many opportunities where the gas isn't going to be on, so it's going to be pretty full throttle from the start, and it doesn't really let up. There's not really many places where it climbs other than once a lap, or the pace isn't pretty solid. So I'm going to have to be pretty good at taking a drink in the aero position, I think, or just sacrifice a little bit of kind of like wind resistance to sit up and grab a drink. I was practicing that on my ride this morning, so it should be okay. But yeah, that's kind of just something, again, get used to it again within the season. It's the first time this season, so there's that. And then if I manage to stay near the front, again, that's going to be really tough because Magnus is here and he's going to absolutely throttle the bike alongside some of the other lads as well. But if I'm like towards that pointy end and I've managed myself correctly, I've conserved enough energy, I hope to put down a run that is consistent. And that's the main thing, because if I'm not consistent, then I haven't learned anything from this race, because I've had good races until 30k into the run. I've had a good swim, been front pack. I've had a good bike front pack or lead, and then get to the run and I keep capitulating within that run somewhere. And I don't necessarily think it's to do with pacing. I think it's more to do with my kind of hydration nutrition strategy. So I just need to, again, make sure that I do pace it correctly. I go steady rather than too hard, and I consume enough in terms of fluids and nutrition. So those are going to be the aims of the race, is basically be near the front for as long as possible until the run, and then just do my own thing. But before I get there, hydrate and fuel well, and then during the run, continue on that trajectory and make sure that I'm fueling and hydrating well on that as well, to get to the end still feeling solid and strong. Obviously, I'm still going to race it to an extent, but I just need to be sensible. So that's kind of what I hope will happen. What could happen is that the swim could be cancelled because of the weather. I hope it doesn't, but yeah, I don't think it will do. The other thing that could happen is that it's so choppy that we kind of lose each other in the water and the faster swimmers bugger off into the distance. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but yeah, it's like you can overthink it too much. You can overthink it till the cows come home, and you know, at the end of the day, it could be completely different on race day. So yeah, there's no point going through scenarios, really. I just hope that I'm able to put myself in a competitive position for as long as possible, and I'll do my best to try and execute that, I guess. And then in terms of like how I'm feeling for it, I'm bloody nervous. It's going to be a really tough race. There's a lot of good quality. This is probably the highest quality field that I've done probably since 70.3 Worlds, maybe. And don't get me wrong, I think I fare well in a competitive field. But yeah, there's a lot of very good quality people here, and highly ranked as well. So yeah, give it my best and see what happens on the day, I guess, because I don't think the body should not turn up. I think I'm fit. Had an okay lead in. There's no reason that I shouldn't be able to execute. It's just, yeah, getting it right on the day. So here we go, I guess. Give it my best. Ironman South Africa did not go to plan at all, I'd say. I think it was probably one of my worst races that I've done in the past couple of years, which sucks because I was really well prepared, in my opinion, and especially from a physiological standpoint, and obviously to not deliver that on the day, especially when it's like a long haul travel, you've put a lot of time, effort, energy, finance into the trip to come away with something that you're not necessarily proud of. I guess I'm kind of proud of finishing, but you think that you could have done a lot better. It's tough. It's a tough one to take. But at the same time, hopefully I can go through a few of like my learnings and what I'm taking away from it so that it's not a complete waste of time. Like I said earlier in the video, like as long as I'm coming away with it, having learned a few things for next time, then it's been a valuable experience. But yes, like getting straight into it, the swim, was decent. Like to begin with, I had a really good start. I got off the line well. I think I was second to Jamie Riddle for a fair amount of time, like towards the first buoy. Decided, conscious decision, to let a few people pass because I knew Martin van Riel, Jonas Schomburg and Andy were in the swim pack or swim group with me. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just tag onto the back because I don't want to overexert myself here. But towards the first buoy and just after the first buoy, I started to feel a little bit of restriction. My arms weren't feeling quite right. And both a conscious decision, but also a decision to like stop me blowing up, I let the group go. So those guys went off into the distance, the four of them, and I was left on my own. So I swam the whole of the first lap pretty much on my own and most of the second lap being beaten up essentially because it was rough. Out like in the further out in the water was rough. Gotten beaten up a little bit in that, just on my own, just being battered by waves. But yeah, ended up coming out of the water actually in 6th, not 5th, because the chase group caught me and then one guy overtook me. And, you know, like it sucks to have 2.5 minutes put into me, whereas that doesn't usually happen in most fields. Not really the mental place where I wanted to be, but At the same time, went through my processes, got onto the bike, started working pretty solid, and before long, Magnus came past, and I sat at my like 14-meter distance behind him going up the hill, which was solid. That was like the power of that I discussed with Luke, my coach, that I was going to be able to limit, or that I was limited to at the top end, going up the hill. So I pushed about 340 watts for the first hour, which is solid, but it's not something that I haven't done in the past. So I was confident that I would have been able to hold that, but I decided, he just rode away from me again, similar to the swim with the other guys. If I'd stayed there much longer, I think I would have blown on the bike. So Magnus rode away from me, and then I just settled into my comfortable pace, which actually wasn't very high, probably lower than what I would have expected. I didn't feel great, and I think that's probably a combination between over swimming from a bit of restriction, but also being beaten up in the waves, and then maybe because I'd done that and then ridden pretty solid at the start of the bike, it was just too much for me. So yeah, I kind of just went backwards a little bit on the bike, and Andy overtook me, Jamie Riddle overtook me towards the end. Because basically what had happened is at the start of the bike, Magnus pulled me all the way through the field until within a minute of the front. So 90 seconds we closed on the front of the race. Really close to Martin. So it was Schomburg and Martin just ahead of us. But then I slipped back to Andy, back to Jamie, and came off the bike in 5th place. So basically where I exited the swim pretty much, I think I was 5th or 6th out of the water. But yeah, I was a bit worried about the run because I felt like I was a bit tired after the bike. But I mean, it's a 4-hour ride, 15-hour ride, by nowhere near the kind of average power that I've held in the past. Probably 10, 15 watts, maybe even 20 watts down on what I've done, even though I think I'm in the best shape. So yeah, it was just a funny one, and I lost a bit of time where I didn't think I would, but actually still had one of the faster bike rides of the day. I think I was 7th fastest overall. So 6th in the swim, 7th on the bike. But then started on the run, my back was in absolute agony. And I had to stop after 5K just to stretch it out. And then after I did that, I actually got going really well, and I was sticking at my relative effort. So what I planned to stick out, which was about that 4 minutes to 4:05 per K, just to try and like tap that out. And it was hot. It was really hot, but I didn't really feel it because it was also very windy. So anyway, I got maybe 20K into the run, just over 20K. And I was like, okay, I've kept a lid on it. I'm going to be able to push on now. And then as soon as like I got to that 24K marker, I just started cramping again. It's like, this happens every time. And I said this before, but I think I now know that it's probably to do with hydration, and that I need to take on a lot more than what I've been taking on in the past. So I'm probably taking on roughly 1 litre an hour, whereas I probably need to be closer to 2. And if I can do that, I'm really hoping that in the future, these races will come together far better, and I'll have more energy throughout, whether it be on the bike and the run or just the run itself, and actually get to 42 and a bit K without completely imploding. So yeah, I think overall the overarching things are, I'm going to work a bit on kind of with my sponsors to sort out the restriction of the suits, because I think it's twofold. I think it's the tri-suit and the wetsuit, not just one or the other. And then also I need to sort out this hydration thing. So I need to make sure that actually I'm practicing taking on enough fluid within my training so that I can do that in the race as well. But it'll be tough because obviously the stomach needs to handle that much fluid, and I'm not necessarily used to it. And then, yeah, hopefully in the next couple of races, I'll be able to put that to good use, which are Venice, which is a 70.3, so Jesolo, Pro Series, and then another one, full distance, about a month after that. So stay tuned for that, because that will be really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to, believe it or not, actually getting my teeth stuck into that one as well. I've really enjoyed the process. I've really, really enjoyed it, and I actually can't wait to get on the start line again, kind of to rectify the wrongs or right the wrongs that I had in this race. But yeah, it sucks, and I was really disappointed, really, really sad to begin with. But I'm hoping that, yeah, with a few kind of small changes, it's going to be a lot better next time. Do make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will see you next time.